processing her forensic exam and other evidence.
Investigative reporter Jason Knowles is looking into her claims and the overall issue of long wait times for sex assault victims. Jason?
Rob Sherrill, one sexual assault victim, says her case has been delayed almost 2 years. She says it's because of a DNA debacle, a combination of testing delays and mishandled evidence. Now she's coming forward because she's frustrated with the system.
Try to scratch, try to do whatever I can to try to get as much DNA as I could.
Kelly Yancey is still struggling with the memories of her sexual assault. Her attacker, she says, asking for a ride in her car after she met him at a party.
I was held in my vehicle for 5.5 hours. Freezing cold outside.
Now, almost 2 years later, Yancey says her case is nowhere close to being solved.
I'm sorry.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yancey is pointing the finger at the Illinois State Police Crime Lab and the Chicago Police. She says CPD misplaced DNA evidence left behind in her car by her attacker, like fingerprints, a liquor bottle, and vomit. She says about 9 months after the attack, the detective told her that the evidence in the car was not submitted to the state crime lab.
She verbally told me that it was misfiled under another case number.
But months later in this email, the detective said the request to test the evidence from your vehicle was submitted on April 1st, 2024. That was almost 1.5 years after the attack. Yancey says she's now waiting on those results being processed by the state lab. CPD responded to the I-Team saying the Chicago Police Department is committed to thoroughly investigating criminal sexual assault cases, as well as supporting the victims who are living with the trauma and aftermath of these assaults. Detectives are in contact with the victim in this specific case, which remains an active and ongoing investigation.
I felt as though I was neglected.
Yancey believes that car evidence should have been submitted to the state labs immediately with her sexual assault kit evidence from the hospital. Adding to the frustration, she says that sex assault kit came back inconclusive after being delayed 9 months at the state lab. The Illinois State Police say they can't speak about specific cases, but that since May of 2022, sex assault kit processing has been meeting the state law requirements at under 6 months or 180 days.
There's going to be, some advocates or critics that do say 180 days is still not good enough. What do you say to that?
I agree. I certainly agree. That's just the minimum. That's the bare minimum. And we need to get down to a turnaround time that's going to be more acceptable for our victims.
ISP says so far in 2024, 15% of sex crime kits have been processed under 30 days, 27% under 90 days, and that all have been tested under 180 days. ISP says it's up to date on the latest technology like rapid DNA, which they showed the I-Team in 2020, but the biggest challenge, they say, is staffing.
A lot of it is finding qualified applicants and then getting them through. And then in order to work in the crime lab, there's a lot of different steps, requirements.
Carolina Sanchez from the survivor advocate group Resilience says some states are now processing results in 30, 60, or 90 days and says Illinois needs to do better than 180 days.
So many of these cases are not going anywhere. They're just kind of sitting, waiting for those results of the evidence collection kit to come in. You have survivors who are out there continuing to live in the fear of, is the offender going to come after me again?
Where are you left?
Hopeless.
The I-Team has also reported on DNA delays when it comes to processing murder evidence. In 2018, we found that there were more than 750 Chicago murder cases waiting to be analyzed. Because of our reporting, the state overhauled its system, added rapid DNA, and hired more lab techs. So far in 2024, there are more than 250 unfinished assignments. Rob Sherrill, they're still tackling a lot of cases, but that giant murder backlog has been slashed. Let's see if they can do the same or similar with those sex assault kits. So many people saying 180 days, still too long.
Oh, it is a long time for them.
It is, especially if you're the victim.
Man. Frustrating, heartbreaking, and very eye-opening. Jason, thank you for that.
Appreciate it. Time for our weather forecast.